So, given the light-hearted nature of the sort of things which I'm doing today, I'm responding to a request to produce a compilation of some of my bench talks, where I've had a little chat with, or even a sing-song with some of the characters who made the news, including Mr. Putin. Here's the Putin one. I'm afraid, I'm afraid it begins with my rather badly pronounced Russian, and Mr. Putin gets some opportunity to reply.
Привет, Тимофей Ирикович. Я знаю, ты думаешь, что я умер? Как кот Шрёдингера. Никто не узнает правду, пока не откроет дверь. Ты тоже неважно выглядишь. Я знаю, что голос звучит женственно. Это голос из могилы. Моя мужское достоинство затиралось в морозвойке. Но я все еще альфа-самец с дефектом речи.
В наши дни в рубашку как часто не снимаете?
Я беспокоюсь, что она спутается с замороженным горшком.
Как дела? I mean, how? How is life going in the freezer?
To paraphrase Belkovsky, sometimes I forget that you are alive and it's the doppelganger who died. It's part of an elaborate plan, isn't it, to test the loyalty of your close command, the earlobe test. I mean, let me ask you some simple questions. I'm the new Tucker Carlson. Got to get my consonants right there. But it's the new Cold War, the Iceland, as in the supermarket, Iceland Cold War. So the question really is, do you like frozen food? And what are your favourite frozen brands? Peas, pasta or piles? Once they're all frozen. I mean, frankly, what's the difference? Frozen in time, a moment's pause. And thanks to the laboured history lesson the other day from you and Tucker. I find it so difficult getting my tongue round those consonants. Do you have problems with your tongue? I suppose you do now that it's frozen. But nuzzling up to a man who you think might be the next vice president. I mean, you think he's warm and cuddly. You'd be wrong. That's because he's frozen too. Botox babes, both. But this is my advice to you. Do you mind me giving you some advice, Mr. Putin? This is my advice. Let it go. You know, it's from Frozen. Let it go. The cold never bothered me anyway.
That of course followed the Tucker interview. And then I've got one which is really going back a bit with Gavin Williamson. Oh, and I thought of Gavin Williamson as a version of Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump, from which I get the bench.
Gavin, it's so nice to see you there. Smirking and slightly stiff. Mute, of course. You know, if life were a box of chocolates, you're definitely not the milk tray man, are you? You put your finger into the box and you've stuck your finger into it. Not once, not twice, but 3 times, Gavin, naughty boy, naughty boy. And this time you've done it with rude words as well. It's hardly Quality Street, is it? You know, what we ought to be saying to you now, what was it we said all those years ago when you were Education Minister? Education Minister. I find it so difficult to think of that, Gavin. What was it now? Go. Go, Gavin. Go. Go, Gavin. Go. Go, Gavin. Go. It took you a long time to go then as well, didn't it? The clock is ticking. The clock, and the soft centres are only going to get more moist the longer you wait. Go. Go. Now's a good time. Go.
And here are a few of Suella Braverman.
Oh my goodness, I'd forgotten you were there. You're so quiet. Then of course you've probably got quite a lot to reflect on, haven't you, Suella? Yes, it's going to be a long journey, so I don't suppose we can maintain this silence forever, can we? Have you any idea what time we get to Rwanda? I know, of course. You could almost become part of the Rwanda tourist industry, couldn't you? You've done such a good job. Of course, it's a great shame that you've got nobody else on the plane. Just the two of us on this huge plane and no other passengers. Not even a pilot. You know, when we've been to Rwanda and seen all the sights in Rwanda and made our way back, possibly by dinghy, I know a very good company, we should actually drop into Albania. You'll love Albania. It's so nice. I can show you round. I can show you the sights of Tirana and Elbasan, and Durrës is lovely. Kukles. And we should go down and see the pelicans down in the south next to the Suli Mountains opposite Corfu. We won't allow you to go to Corfu because, of course, they probably would shoot you if you got into a boat. But Corfu is... You could look at it. You could look at Corfu and sigh wistfully for Europe. You'd enjoy that, I think, if they let you out of Rwanda. Do you think we're going to get any service on this plane? I'm parched. I could do with a glass of something. It's like sitting in a detention centre, isn't it? But you'd know about that too, wouldn't you? Oh, you're going to be such good company. I'm really going to enjoy myself. Oh, Suella, you keep springing up on me when you're unexpected, unannounced, unwanted. Oh, and silent. Statuesque, silent splendour in sartorial... What are you wearing, Suella? I mean, it looks like dog fur. Where did you get this coat from? Have you been slaughtering puppies in Albania again, Suella? Because it's not a good look. It's not a good look. It's very retro, very 1960s. It went out with 101 Dalmatians. And frankly, if you continue wearing a coat that looks as if it's made out of dog, you will be thrown buckets of pedigreed chum. And that's not pleasant in quantity. No, look, you really need to take some good advice. Let me give you some advice. And in fact, not me. Why don't you take advice from the man who stood in your shoes, not the dog shoes, your shoes, not kitten heels like Mrs. May. Gosh, there's animals everywhere, aren't there? So Grant Shapps said in his brief tenure as Home Office Secretary, he said that he was concerned that the camp in Kent was no longer fit for purpose, that it was moving over from being a holding centre to being an illegal detention centre. Illegal, and what have you done about it? As far as I can see, you've done nothing. Now, you would be better off ditching the sartorial accoutrements and doing your job. And while we're talking about the Dalmatians and Albania, I think it would be a really good idea if you listened to my friends who are all coming to Westminster on Saturday to talk to you. You could just open your door and listen to what they've got to say. And I think you would find it instructive, Suella. I think you would find it instructive. And, you know, there's so much going on at the moment, and so much of it is wrong and of your doing. What are you trying to pull focus from? From your coat? Or could it be from some strange economic accident? Not quasi-quatengs, something else, something that we don't want. Oh, Suella, Suella, you know, the best thing that you could do for everybody is resignation. That would be really good. That would really throw the cat among the pigeons. There's another animal image for you. I think it's much better. I'm going to get on with my book. You can wait there in silence if you wish.
So I hope that keeps you entertained as you go off to vote.
Good afternoon, sir.
Have fun.
I'm so pleased you've come to join us, and I was delighted to see that you are now doing stand-up comedy, sir. Your move to rehabilitate ginger peoples of the world with Bob. I'm not sure who Bob is. Maybe somebody you know in New York or elsewhere. But it's good to see you standing up for heroes, standing proud after spilling so much in your memoir, Spare. I am surprised, by the way. I am surprised that you need to make such a fuss of the ginger steaks after cavorting in Las Vegas in 2012, because we all know about the ginger steaks there. However, people's memories, I suppose, can be a bit limp, which isn't your problem, isn't it? There's always room for stand-up and a giggle, as indeed Spike. Can I call you Spike, sir? Yes, I trust. As indeed Spike. Let's just say, make it so in Star Wars idiom. And by the way, in moments of gloom and moments of despair in the past, I too found solace in Friends and Family Guy. So I know we share dismay about the passing of Matthew Perry, Chandler, of course. I know about your greeting Doctor Who as Grandpa, and so it must be very odd. It only struck me the other day. It must be very odd that Dominic West, who I think you went to the South Pole with, now plays your father in The Crown. And wasn't it? It was South Pole, wasn't it? Actually, am I allowed to say this? It was South Pole where you got frostbite, wasn't it? And then you came back and acted as best man to your brother in Westminster. I wish you'd be his best man again. And there was that special Todger cushion. Am I allowed to say that was made? The Todger cushion. Anyway, I remember your easy charm in those days. Your easy charm, your good nature with your father, with Her Late Majesty the Queen, and the incredibly cute relationship that you had with your little nephew, George, young Winston, I think you called him or something. But, you know, something, sir, you need to recover. Don't you think? I'm not talking about the Todger cushion. I'm thinking more of your relationships. I really am very sorry that you weren't sort of invited to that 75th birthday. Maybe there's time to change that. Do you think? Anyway, all best wishes, and I look forward to seeing you again, sir.